Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sequoia Lending. Tonight, it's a very, very special night. To me personally, it's actually very emotional also. And let me share you with a story. About 10 years ago, well, I take it back. I'm too excited. Not 10 years ago. I would say in the year of 2021, okay? In the year of 2021. At that time, I was a young ensign in United States Navy, sailing across the sea and just wondering, talking to myself, what am I going to do after I come home? What am I going to do when I grow up? So long story short, somebody somehow somewhat tell me that, hey, Alan, you should get into mortgage. You can make a lot of money in mortgage, and there's no regulation whatsoever. And so I did. So I started my first company in 2004 called We Have Loans for You. And as a military guy, as a system guy, I really don't want to do the business just by myself. And coming from the Navy background, and I looked at how we operate in a ship. Everybody have their own positions. And so many people work together as a team and move toward one goal and one destination. And I thought to myself, how can I do something like this in the mortgage industry? I don't want to go out there to generating deal by myself. I see a lot of small mortgage companies is struggling, right? Because again, it's just hard to get business at that time. But I always know there got to be a way to make this thing much, much bigger. So long story short, somehow, somewhat, I got myself in something called network marketing business model. And I love that model ever since then. And since then, I built a team back in 2000 and from 2006 to 2008, over 700 loan officers just here locally in Washington metropolitan area. Now let's move forward. 2008 hit, everybody know what's going on. And I turned the company to do a lot of short sales, foreclosures, so on and so forth. And that is the time that I got to know a lot of private lenders. When the time turned around in 2013, 14, short sales pretty much done, and the economy is getting better. And I also, again, one more time, that I talk to myself, what am I going to do when I grow up? I still like lending, but from 2014 compared to 2004, the mortgage industry is totally different. So what am I going to do? And I decided to get back into commercial lending, and that's where Sequoia actually started. Moving forward, I always know one thing, that in order for me to do something, I don't just want to do one deal and two deals. With the success that we had back then with the network marketing business model to build a mortgage company, I always know one day, somehow, somewhat, I'm going to build the same exact company again, using the same exact business model, but in commercial lending this time. So one biggest thing that is always lingering in my mind is that compensation. There's so many different type of compensation plan out there. And I spend a lot of time to study all different type of compensation. And guess what? I run into a company that makes perfect sense. And I looked at their comp plan and say, holla, hallelujah, somebody already designed something like this for me. Why am I going to go out there to redesign the wheel? I don't need to. And this company is called eXp. And I look at their business model. I said, this is crazy. eXp with this comp plan in a short period of time, I think in about just short few years, they come from a private company and all of a sudden turn into a public trading company. Huge, growing not just locally, but also nationwide and internationally. And there's so many eXp agents all over the country. And I looked at their comp plan and I said, this is a perfect fit for Sequoia Lending. So ladies and gentlemen, the comp plan 6.0 that you see start out at comp plan 1.0. That's where we make the eXp compensation. And now we're at comp plan 6.0. Again, the main structure is still the same. However, throughout the time, we will just fine-tune the comp plan to where we are today. So that is what you are seeing. So I also believe in one thing. I also believe in something called the law of attractions. How many of you heard of something like the law of attractions? when you believe in something strong enough, somehow, somewhat, the universe is going to put in all those pieces together for you. And since I start out as eXp, and I always thought, what is the possibility that Sequoia one day is going to have the ability to partner up with eXp? I don't know, but that thought is just in me, lingering all, day in and day out. So somehow, somewhat, when you believe in something strong enough, and things happened. Last year, I believe it's in April or May of last year, exactly 1 year ago, one of our Sequoia members, his name is Dylan, introduced us to a gentleman in California. And it turned out to be that this gentleman is the president, the founding president of eXp Commercial. He's a hero to me. He's a mentor to me. Ever since I met up with him, it's just like all of a sudden, imagine that a kid open up a door and all of a sudden you see all candies, nothing but candies inside of that door. And that is how I felt when I spoke to him, and we talk all the time. He mentored me all the time. He shared with idea with me all the time. And I also share with him what I do all the time. So again, throughout the times we have been communicating, we have been talking, we have been sharing ideas, brainstorming, how can we work together? And obviously eXp is huge, right? There's a lot of politics involved. There's a lot of things that you need to, to smoothing out before they can partner up with anybody. But in our mind, we always believe in that one day we will work together one way or the other, and that day is today. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to say more, and it's my greatest pleasure to introduce this gentleman that I met about a year ago, and ever since then we became good friends. He's one of my mentors, and he is here finally, has the ability, the flexibility to start to work together with us. And in his own word, he say, Alan, I'm not just interested to help you to build a local company. I'm going to help you to build this company globally. And that is what I want to hear. So ladies and gentlemen, please give your biggest welcome to Mr. James Huang, president of eXp Commercial Realty. James, the floor is yours.
Alan, thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. So grateful to be here and to really share the journey. As you know, when I first started, I didn't even think I was going to be in real estate whatsoever, going to go into being a doctor and medicine. But instead, I went into finance at Wall Street, kind of growing and building. So you kind of never know what you're going to do and the pivot. And while I was in Wall Street, I kind of moved into portfolio management, where when I came back into California from New York, I started saying, okay, I'm doing portfolio management. What is something that fits my background? And it was commercial real estate portfolio management. So I was a large TIC syndicator, the largest in the country in the 90s that I worked under, and started plugging and putting things together. And I would say W-2 is great. We all know we need sometimes the W-2, but boy, isn't 1099, which I say you're not getting a paycheck, but you're an entrepreneur. You're creating and building. But it is finding, as Alan and many of us here, the abundance of attracting and being with the right people, right? Getting that mentor, working with different platforms, listening and learning to find that opportunity. So with that time, I said, you know what, in my commercial real estate career, I want to be a commercial real estate broker than a W-2, even though I worked directly under the CEO. I said, I want to learn commercial real estate. So I did go to Marcus and Millichap, cut my teeth. And I always say, boy, I love the business. I love the cold calling. I love the networking. I love meeting people and engaging, building relationships. And from building all these relationships, eventually I started buying buildings, bought a good amount, enough to retire. And then I said, well, you can't retire that early. What else are you going to do? So I set up a brokerage company and kept on building it. And from the 2000s to about, as everyone knows, and we feel it now, 2007 to 2009. It feels like that. For those that have a little more gray hair or been around, we feel it's the same way, where market's slowing down, issues are happening. I love that. And it is important, right? Because real estate goes in cycles. And the cycle for now, what we saw in residential, but now commercial is happening again. It is teaching us a lesson for those that can remember and knows the lesson that we were taught before, but how to prosper from those relationship and those knowledge. So from there, I learned getting my company through, and I would say I was retired one day. Next morning, I woke up not retired in 2009 after Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers went under for commercial real estate, which lags residential. For 6 months, I made $0, and I had a nut of $500,000 a month. Not a great position to be in.
Mm-hmm.
So learning and growing and building through that to a point of recovery, going through it, to learning what is the next platform, like Alan, how do we collaborate? I was talking to a lot of friends in 2012. Where was my next place? Where do I go next? And eventually I did choose Rand Sperry, who started Sperry Van Ness as a franchise operation, because I thought a lower cost franchise model through technology would be it. But again, building it for 6 years, and we built about 600 agents in total, 80 franchise offices and a couple of 10 international offices. I thought that was it. But lo and behold, as I kept open-minded, I saw the eXp platform, and somebody I knew introduced me to the CEO, Glenn Sanford, the founder, who started it in the last recession in 2009 as an agent-centric company through a network marketing model. Brilliant. And we saw how it grew in 2009, 2 over-the-counter, 2 NASDAQ. And during COVID, pre-COVID, it started growing at a point where, if everyone looks at the stock, from $10 to $95, and then it split, right? So it went so wild and crazy during the COVID time, even through the interest rate time, as many markets in the real estate markets are being affected to now. So I would just say, you know, with Alan, being part of eXp, growing the fastest commercial real estate, working with you and your team, it's really an honor. And I'll share a little bit about the model with everyone, because I want to give everyone a little more perspective of what we're building and what we are sharing with this troop and with Alan. So let me make sure, where we go. Oh, is it showing up?
It shows your presentation mode.
Oh God, let me do that again. Hold on. Yeah, it's hold on, here we go.
Technology is a beautiful thing when it works right.
It does. And we had it, I think it was covering it, so I clicked on the wrong one.
Yep. Yep, star slideshow, the first one.
Here
Yep,
we go.
that one. Yep.
So as everyone knows, as I started with eXp Commercial, building a platform, how we were going to change the industry, really the big things is we are publicly traded, which is a big deal because we can earn publicly traded stock. The other big thing about it is we are anchored by 90,000 agents, residential, that passes a lot of referrals and opportunities to us in commercial and vice versa. As I built it, we are the fastest growing commercial with over 800 commercial agents. And we did, as Alan and I were talking, ancillary services as we're building asset property management. Capital markets is how Alan and I started talking, because it's not just the debt, right? It's the equity part, and building business advisory and many other pieces that are important when you set up a commercial real estate company. We started innovating and building up how the company was built so people can actually build their own brand name as they build the company, plugging into 90,000 agents, all 50 states and in 24 countries. And I say the company I love because it is tech-based and constantly innovating and creating. And there are ways, because we're publicly traded, and like what Alan did, following our model, which I love, and that's why it aligns so well, about creating many different revenue sources. And I say, since we're in a virtual world, you can really be anywhere. And one of the big things is our commission split for commercial is 80-20, and it stops at 20,000. So most people that are in commercial real estate, it stops at 20,000. So that's all you pay. And then for 250, you get enough technology fee. On the residential, it's actually less expensive. So there's a lot of advantages through the cost model alone. 24 different countries are actually in all 50 states and in 24 countries. And these are the biggest things that we love as we start building is the tech stack. And this is what we're going to start plugging in with Alan, not only with Sequoia Lending, but now building a Sequoia Services and a global team, is to allow people to really build their brand, build their connections and relationships. And these are some of the technology tools that we have. And right now, the education, for those that are new, Alan and I are working on, as the next guest speaker will be coming up, we train people from scratch. We train people on more advanced subjects of different specialty products and different groups, so you can really be an expert of what you want to do. If you're property management, if you're capital markets, if you're anything that could really help you grow and scale, we're going to start teaching you, and that's what we're going to plug in with Alan to help everyone grow. These are the different product groups. The biggest thing that we were talking about is a lot of times during the market change, you don't have healthcare anymore. What we allow, and Alan, this is the big one, with Sequoia Lending with you, you could add healthcare to your team, whoever wants healthcare. So as long as you're part of it, anyone here could get onto our group healthcare. And we've saved 50% or more if you're a family of 4 or 5, where people were paying $5,000 to $6,000, they were paying half as much. So Alan, there's a lot of things that we want to share and help your team scale, grow, really survive and thrive during these kind of markets, and really earn the revenue share like what you're doing in your company. So it aligns that you can actually make some extra money from the different ways, especially those that want to be in commercial real estate or residential. And then just the different ways the market can work on the rev share, and we can go deeper for your team. But I do want to get my next guest speaker on there, because what we are doing at eXp Commercial, as I started building this, we started partnering with so many different groups, training and organizations on a wholesale basis. So you can plug in to figure out other ways to make money, revenue, referrals, mentoring for whatever your skill set is. So I'm really excited to partner with you, Alan, and your team, and those that are interested to follow us on eXp Commercial or reach out to Alan, because we're going to be doing much more training than from our next speaker that we've met through eXp and an advisory for a technology company that I was on. So we could really help everyone get through this business during this cycle and really thrive to get better, stronger, and teach you, because anytime the market does change, new businesses are created and a lot of opportunities are being built. So Alan, thank you so much. And now I'd like to introduce our next guest through a mutual friend who I was consulting and helping out with Valkyrie CE, a technology-based company in the valuation appraisal market. Ross, if you don't mind sharing your background too, and kind of what we're building together, what you're scaling, it's really exciting, because I always say there's 3 things that I wanted to build to get your clients to say yes. And you definitely have built a company to get clients to say yes.
I appreciate that intro, Jim. I got to tell you, though, Alan's intro to you made it sound like he was introducing the Pope, Muhammad Ali, and the guy that Neil Armstrong all at the same time, man. I got to tell you, it was inspiring. So hopefully someday somebody can give me an intro like that. It's nice to meet you guys. I appreciate the time. Certainly appreciate the attention in the evening here. I also love hearing where folks are dialing in from. We got 3 folks that live in some of my favorite places. Then you got Charlotte, Cape May, New Jersey, which I love in the summers. And then I personally am located here in the Washington, D.C. area. My company's headquartered in Falls Church, Virginia, if you guys are familiar with that. So nice to meet some other nearby Washingtonians. As Jim had mentioned, I've been in the real estate space for about 20 years, but I have worked in a very niche arena, which is related to state and local taxes, but real estate taxes specifically. And before any of you log off, because you've heard the word tax, which is typically poison this time of year, the niche that I live in and have lived in is really doing 3 things for commercial property owners. And that is helping commercial real estate investors, developers, and managers understand reduce and forecast real estate taxes. As most of you guys know, if you've gone, through underwriting, which I'm sure most of you have, looking at pro formas, real estate taxes are your single largest line item expense. And so it's a significant pain point for property owners. And further to Jim and Alan's comments about current market cycles, the business that I am in, especially when it comes to real estate tax appeals, in a down market, we make a fortune. I mean, an absolute fortune. Because our job is to help real estate owners reduce their real estate assessments, which are always tied to market valuation. And most of the fees in the industry that I work in are really revolving around contingencies. So it's success-based fees. So in many cases, the way that you would earn points or commissions on real estate transactions or loan deals, most of the work that we do when it comes to appeals, we get to take a percentage of the real estate tax savings. And in a down market, when values are declining, it makes for a much easier argument. So what is a real estate tax appeal per se? Your clients, the property owners that you know, probably yourself, if you've got a commercial property, you receive a real estate tax assessment. It's based on an indication of fair market value, which then results in a real estate tax bill. If we argue that the value is lower, it results in a lower tax bill, which then results in tax savings. And our typical fees are based on a percentage of that. So rewind a couple of years, I was talking with a company out of California about a technology platform that I rolled out in 2022. And having been a career real estate tax consultant, I had this eureka moment that we could productize much of what had been very human capital intensive over the last 20 years of my career. And so think about when I talk about these services in the technology platform, we've traditionally operated as CPAs in my industry, which is we help commercial property owners, in some cases lenders, appraisers, fix problems related to real estate taxes, but it requires a lot of hands-on. I had a vision that we could build almost a TurboTax-like appeal platform to help property owners, specifically small and medium-sized commercial property owners, reduce their real estate taxes, manage their real estate taxes, forecast their real estate taxes. So as I set out on this venture to build this platform, I was introduced to Jim and eXp. And what we very quickly realized when we were building out these products in this technology platform, which we call Taxonics, which is the company that I own, founded, and operate, was that we still needed real estate experts to take this product out to the masses, the individuals that would benefit from this the most. And what made the most sense when we were looking at this was to partner up with a company like eXp, which one, had access to brokers and agents throughout the world, but was also thinking very tech-centric and tech-forward. And so we built a training program specifically for eXp agents to help them, agents and brokers on the commercial side, to help them take these solutions that we were offering through our platform to their clients. And the reason that we did that is because, one, it would allow brokers to recognize the value proposition of what we're bringing to commercial property owners, but also to help them understand the business that we are in so they can speak to it in a more educated fashion, and also to prepare them for down cycles in the market where if you're not doing deals with the contacts that you have, if you're not helping them buy and sell a property or leasing properties, you can introduce them to something that would help them navigate a fairly tumultuous down cycle, which is helping them save real estate taxes. And so we built a training program specifically for eXp and the commercial brokers to train them on the industry and the product offering that we have. And Alan, if I've got a minute here, if I could share my screen, if you're okay with that.
Yep, go ahead.
Wonderful. I want to just give you guys an idea of the market that I'm talking about here. So in the business of helping commercial property owners manage and reduce real estate taxes, I want you to understand the size of the market that I'm talking about, okay? There are about $900 billion worth of commercial real estate transactions per year, and it's about a $20 trillion real estate market between residential and commercial. But this is the important part. Across the United States, $600 billion in property taxes are paid annually, okay? Our job is to help folks pay less, All right, we are compensated for helping folks pay less. I guarantee you, if you're in the business of anything commercial real estate related, you know somebody that has to pay a real estate tax bill that owns a commercial property. That is a potential client and someone that we want as part of our ecosystem. So what we built, I'm going to skip past some of this. What we built through our partnership with eXp was a training course that we partnered with Exceed CE. We have built the first CE certified qualified course for real estate agents and brokers on how to solve for real estate tax problems. You can go to Exceed CE, and through the partnership that we have that Jim has been able to foster with Patricia Lynn and her group, this can now become part of your CE certification if that's a requirement for you. But in addition to that, what we have built as part of our Taxonics platform is a referral partnership for anyone that has this training. And it will take you maybe an hour to do this training. We have done what I think is a really good job of distilling down 2 decades of knowledge into a 1-hour CE course. You're able to take this course, you learn a little bit about what we're doing, you learn the value proposition that we're bringing to the industry, and then we have a referral partnership where you all will be able to earn commissions and referral fees by sending clients to us to help us solve their problems. In addition to that, for folks that are interested in actually establishing a separate vertical as part of their business, we have a white label franchise model where I can take everything that my company has done, both in the consulting and the technology side, and give you all of the tools, all of the training, and the support to be able to offer these services yourself through this franchise model supported by our platform. This is unique to eXp. This is unique to what Jim has brought my company into eXp. This is not offered to everyone. Obviously, anyone can take the CE course, but the referral partnerships, the white label franchise aspect that we have, and when I say white label franchise, I want to be very clear. This is not like owning a Chick-fil-A branded restaurant, right? This is you being able to operate under your own brand, under Sequoia Lending, under ABC LLC, using our platform, our training, and our tools to offer these services yourself. So it is your personal network, your business development efforts, your marketing prowess to drive business to your bottom line. And the last thing that I want to leave you all with is that the reason that I have stayed in what some people consider an unsexy portion of the real estate industry is because it is incredibly lucrative. There are fewer than 3,000 people that do what I do nationwide. And that is corralling and herding $600 billion worth of real estate taxes paid. And when you are earning commissions, up to 50% of the tax savings that you generate for a commercial property owner through an appeal, the amount of money that you can make offering these services, especially in a down market, or even referring these opportunities to a company like mine, can be very, very lucrative. And so one of the reasons that Jim and Alan asked me to speak with you all is that it is no surprise, and it's not a mystery, that transaction volume has declined, asset values have been diluted as a result of the market. That's our Super Bowl. For those of us that are in the business of reducing real estate taxes, that's when we shine. That's when the phone's ringing off the hook. So if we can help you all build out a separate vertical to generate an additional revenue stream, if we can help educate you on these types of services so you can refer it, do not hesitate to reach out. I will drop my contact information. I'm sure Alan will push it out to you all as part of this. But this is one of the tools in your toolbox that you absolutely should have. It is exclusive to eXp. It's thanks to Jim that we've been able to create this. And we're offering it to you all and the partners and the friends and family network that Jim has established. And so I would welcome any opportunity to work with you guys to offer these services, to generate these opportunities, to put money in the bottom line, and to bring a value proposition to your contacts in the real estate network that they probably didn't have before tonight. So thank you guys. I'm happy to answer any questions and address any needs that you all have on the real estate tax front.
Well, thank you so much, James, and thank you so much, Ross, for bringing in the such exciting news to us. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at Sequoia's business model, we start out as a commercial lending company, just purely funding commercial properties, 1 to 4 unit, fix and flips, so on and so forth. And now we venture into doing a lot bigger deals, such as constructions, warehouses, building hotels, The biggest deal right now that we are underwriting right now as we speak is a $275 million hotel construction deal in New York. So that is where we started. So again, however, we realize that the longer that we stay in this space, the longer that we realize that it can have so many other verticals coming from commercial lending. And all, so for some of you that been with us long enough, you will see us that we actually, about a year and a half ago, we ventured into business funding also, because a lot of these people that purchasing warehouses, purchasing retail, they are business owner themselves. They purchase that warehouse for themselves to use. And not only that they purchase the warehouse, but they also need funding to operate their business. And that is why we venture into business funding also. And now you see that we are doing a lot of SBA loans. We're doing a lot of working capital, equipment loans, so on and so forth. But also through that venture, we also realized that, wow, there's a much bigger space in business solution, not just business funding. And that is why last year in 2023, we slowly but surely transition our business from commercial lending actually to business solution. And that's another idea, thanks to James, that when we talk and he kept telling me that, hey, Alan, you cannot just be commercial lending. Since you're already in business, you need to be in business solution. And that is why if you looked at our product line right now, we have that business service, that extra vertical that we are providing credit fix to our clients. We provide cost segregation if they own real estate. And now the latest one is what? The latest one everybody promoting right now is the wellness program, where we were able to provide free benefits to small businesses, to their employees, no cost to them. And that opens up a huge door for all of us. And now with this piece, the extra tax, I always know, I always, oftentimes I would receive emails or letters from some attorneys saying that, hey, are you paying too much real estate tax? Are you paying too much real estate tax? I never pay attention to it. But now we run into this opportunity. This is going to be on our platform for every single one of us, that you and I now not able. See, this is not for you to sell anything, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like, hey, go out there, I'm going to sell this thing to you. It's not. I'm giving you money back. I'm helping you to save money. So again, that is another vertical that we definitely is going to be on our platform. And again, for you, if you cannot sell a mortgage, it's okay. If you cannot sell working capital loan, it's okay. But do you know any people that owns real estate properties? If you do, go out there, let them know that, how about if I can help you to save 20%, 30% on your tax bill? They love you. You become their God. And again, that is how I see this program. And with James and Ross on our platform, that is what Sequoia's platform is all about. If you remember, we do not need to become an expert. How are we going to do all these things? None of my business. I turn it to Ross. I turn it to James. I turn it to that platform. All we needed to do is to focusing on what we are already good at, which is already network generating all these deals, funnel through our Sequoia platform. And now advisor like Ross picked up the deal and he does what he needs to do. And we got paid out of it. Now, if you really want to become, you really want to get involved, learn the course, whatever that might be. So again, that is my take on it. I'm excited. And I know when I talk to James, this is just one of the product that James is going to put onto the Sequoia platform. He has a truckload of candy bars that is about to feed all of us. So again, this is just one of the product that he bring in on the first day that we announced the partnership. So again, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is open. If you have any questions or whatsoever, today's the time. Today's the day.
Alan, let me share something quick. And this is one part, because I know for those that have been around a couple of market cycles, you got to get your client to say yes. Why you get them to say yes? So you can look, I always say, under the hood to see what's really going on with their property in real estate, right? Because sometimes they may not let you know the issue or a problem that they may have. But if you tell them, do you want to reduce your taxes? I don't know how many people would say, no, I love paying taxes. I love paying my higher property tax. I don't think so, right? So that is one part. The other one is, as I know, in the domestic market, people want an international clientele, an international way of listing properties, because they know the domestic market, it's not the local buyers. They sometimes want, especially commercial real estate, international clients. So we will be showing how you can market as a hook to get listings, how you could scale with 20 million eyeballs looking at properties. So you could say, I have access to showcase your property to 20 million people. The other one is Alan and I and many private equity finance, as Alan said, you have evolved Sequoia lending into Sequoia services, Sequoia brokerage and many other things. But instead of reinventing the wheel, putting all the money in, is doing partnerships, which is the smartest way to do it, to leverage it so everyone gets paid. And commercial real estate, we're non-RESPA, right? We can get paid rather than residential, which they can't. So the other thing is we're bringing private equity money. As everyone knows, bridge financing is what they call it. Bridge equity, bridge debt, right? One, you have to pay monthly. One, it's really on the back end when you refi it out. But many people in commercial real estate, as Alan and many of you know, the debts are coming due. $1.7 trillion over the next 3 years. Interest rates are not going down. We saw the consumer price index today, 3.5, hot. We were talking in the beginning of December having 6, maybe 7 rate cuts. As every month has gone along, less and less to now, they said 3, they said maybe 1 or 0 now. You saw the stock market plummeting. There is the greed fear index changing. So what we're trying to do for Alan and the team, especially with Alan and all our friendships that you could see, it's really a core group of friendship, sharing all of the things that we've learned, being on the cutting edge, because we're not rolling it out to everyone. We're rolling it out to specific groups, especially the pricing and how you get compensated. So you can talk to your clients. And I say, never shy away from your clients. So you can say, would you like to reduce your taxes? Is your commercial loan coming due? Do you need a bridge equity, bridge debt? Or as they call it now, emergency capital. I mean, they're just calling it for what it is, to save them. If you're going to list it, do you need a global platform to sell your property? And all of the 3 things we're going to bring to Sequoia, right? It's not even lending and everything. It's really an entire platform that Alan and all of you have built in this community to really help yourself build. And we're constantly always talking to people that are cutting edge. Many of our advisors, I always say, I brought my old gray hair, old people that have been in this industry over 50 years, but now our Rolodex and group is part of Alan and Sequoia and all of your Rolodex, because that's the power of the network, relationships, and leverage that we're going to start helping. And economies of scale with eXp and many other things we're doing, because if we can get it bigger, we can bring down the pricing, which we can pay people more. And that's what we're doing, is we're leveraging a lot of relationships. Alan, like with Dylan, we're doing an asset management, property management. We're going after receivership business from the banks. There are a lot of things because of many of us have run many different companies, publicly traded, and different type of private companies. But through friendships, we're plugging in with each other to give everyone an opportunity. And I just say, people, find the lane, plug into it. And with Sequoia, we can show you how you can get compensated through referral, or with Sequoia creating their own platform to build their own consulting company so more money can be done. But with Ross's expertise, the knowledge, and all his experience, there's so many. And once you open the door, I would say, we're going to teach you how you analyze everything. Once they show you the numbers, then you know you may auction, you may have to do a workout, you may have to get a lawyer, you may have to do something, right? Because they're calling you, they're asking because they need to do something. And we can show you how anything they do, you can monetize and turn it into really some commissions or fees. But the biggest thing is you got a client and a friend for life because you solved a problem. That's what we're trying to build with Sequoia and really the close friends that we've made in this industry, to really help everyone not only just survive, but thrive, but then keep sharing it like Sequoia and your attraction model. There's many ways to grow and create, well, financial freedom. So Alan, I just appreciate the time. And Ross, thank you because you guys are all East Coast. I'm kind of in Central and West Coast. And, it's important for us to share and partner and reveal this. But I also, Alan, as we work out the agreement, because people part of your team can get our healthcare, because that's the other benefit is Alan cares about the people. Obviously, I could see very good friends with Alan, is how you can possibly reduce your healthcare costs.
Absolutely. So again, ladies and gentlemen, one of you asking how soon can we offer this? we are working out the detail. This is just the introduction. Okay, we are working out the detail, and I believe that by the end of this month, we should be able to offer this product. So guys, get ready. And as we speak, our IT team, it will be working on a new scenario. Very soon you will see a new scenario under the business service, just like anything else. And we will be working with Ross and James to come up with the marketing flyers, so on and so forth. So next time, we will definitely ask Ross to come back again to give us a more in-depth training. How do we go out? What do we need to do? So on and so forth. Okay, guys. So again, just want to give everyone a little taste of what it's about to come. And for the longest time, I have been telling everybody that, hey, we will have some big heavy hitter coming with Sequoia. We will have some heavy hitter, and now that day it's here. So it's totally up to you. What do you want to do? Are you still sitting on the sideline and just try to test out the system, or are you can really see for? I see the list right here. Many of you been with me pre-day one. I still remember, Gio. I was in your office. I was drawing the circle. I was telling you that, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Bobby, I see Bobby, a very good friend of mine. He is the president of New York Life. Here also in Washington, D.C. I still remember the day, Bobby, that I was in your office in Virginia. Same thing, drawing you the compensation plan, and you gave me a lot of idea. Many of you seen how Sequoia grow, and from one person show to where we are today, that attract people, attract talents like Ross, attract big heavy hitters like James onto our platform. That says something. Hey, again, I think that we are onto something great right here. And I always say that is that we are not here to just do a deal or two. We are here to disrupt the commercial lending industry. But now we need to change our saying. And right now we're going to disrupt the business solution industry, which is we are able to provide the funding to them. We're able to provide the resources to them. We are able to provide the tools and other services that other people cannot even touch. A lot of people don't even know things like this exist, but through the Sequoia platform, now you have access to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are you going to do? We can bring in James. It's going to bring in a lot more candy onto our table. The question to you is that, are you going to take that candy, open the wrap, and put into your mouth? I cannot do that for you. You have to do that to yourself. Are you going to do it? And how many of those pieces of candy are you going to grab? I don't know about you. For me, I'm going to grab the whole plate. You don't grab it, it's all mine. Okay, but with the Sequoia platform, we are here to share. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely, to me, to Sequoia, it's a very emotional day. My wife is out there already looking at me. She's just trying to say, "What are you doing? Why are you so excited talking to a screen?" But it is very exciting because this day we've been dreaming about this thing for a long, long time. And thank you so much, James. Thank you so much, Ross, that finally this day is here. And thank you so much for the partnership. And I'm looking forward for a much, much longer partnership, and we can do a lot of things together.
Thank
so
you,
guys, floor is open. We have 5 more minutes. Say whatever you need to say. Don't be shy.
Hallelujah!
There we go. Hallelujah. No, and
Thank
I'm
you,
really,
Jesus.
I'll just say, I'm really,
I want candy.
no, I'm really excited for everyone because the biggest wealth creation is done when the market does turn. It's just a lot of people don't realize it, can't see it, paralyzed, don't act on it. But you'll see, because as we do it, Alan, you'll see testimonial success. We share it. And Ross, we've been waiting a long time for the market cycle to change.
Yep.
Over 15 years for those that haven't been around. But when it does come, and I'll just tell you, with large MAI appraisers, Ross, like KC and others, they are refining large $250 billion, $250 million office buildings in New York because of tax reassessments, right? Especially different cities and everything else. And right, the fees on there, granted, it's not a percentage because it's so big, but they go through lawyers and everything. But Ross, can you just share, by putting maybe a couple hours, and as we teach you the plan and the roadmap and the pitch and other things we can help you, of how people get started, just tease people a little before we start rolling out some cool things.
Yeah, I mean, my company, we represent over $60 billion in commercial real estate. That's a B, $60 billion in commercial real estate. We review those assessments. We reduce real estate taxes. Typical fees anywhere between 15% and a third of the savings in commercial real estate. So when you think about $60 billion and you think about an average tax rate, we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate tax savings. And from a contingency fee perspective, you guys can do the math in your head. It can be quite lucrative. There is nowhere in the country that we can't go. There's no asset type, no jurisdiction where we can't address a real estate tax problem. And so if you've got a client, a contact, anyone that owns commercial real estate in any jurisdiction of the country, any asset type, that is a solution that we can provide and a real estate tax problem that we can solve for. The training that we have is twofold. One, it'll explain to you how the business works, meaning the business that I'm in. Two, it'll explain exactly how you solve for those problems. So you're bringing knowledge and solutions to your clients. And whether you decide to refer work, whether you decide to do the work yourself, the important part is that what we are willing and what we will teach you is something that anyone else that is a peer in the industry that you compete with for business will not have. I can assure you of that. I've spent 20 years in a niche area of real estate that, one, is incredibly important, incredibly impactful, but also in some cases flies under the radar. And so we have built the first training course for agents and brokers that qualifies for CE that explains this kind of hidden world, what we call hidden value of real estate taxes. So at the very least, you're at a cocktail party, you are courting someone, right, in your network, being able to speak the language and being able to touch on important points that we provide through the course and the training and the network is going to elevate you as a real estate professional above and beyond anyone else that you're competing with. And, Jim and I, you can reach out anytime. For those of you that live in DC, there is probably no commercial real estate owner or developer of any kind of name and recognition in this area that I have not worked with or is not a client or a user of our platform. And I truly mean that. And further to kind of the eXp family and this kind of rainbow and unicorn, warm and fuzzy that Alan has with Jim and eXp, I am very much and have built my career on paying it forward and sharing relationships and networks. So for those of you that are looking for introductions, if you're looking for relationships, just because I'm a real estate tax guy doesn't mean that I don't have a great network to begin with. And as Jim knows, I am very generous in terms of making connections. And you can look at my LinkedIn profile. You can search me up on the internet. I have been in this industry for quite some time and am more than happy to share relationships and contacts with friends of mine in the network that I do, in my network that I do business with. So this is more than just bringing a valuable tool and bringing something to you that will help your clients and also help you generate revenue. And of course, help my business as well. But it's also about growing my network because I believe in that. It's how I got my start. And frankly, I can draw direct lines back to meetings like this, individuals like Alan and Jim, who I've partnered with that have helped elevate my game, build my business, build my clientele, and in many cases have given me the idea and the inspiration to build the software and the platform that I've built through Taxonics and the other businesses that I've built, bought, and sold in the past as well. So look at us as a resource. Look at me as a resource. I can be a friend and ally and help you all elevate your game.
And Alan, think about this: if you increase the NOI by reducing the taxes, you have a better chance of getting the debt financed. So
Exactly.
that is the overall solution. By saving money for the clients, increasing the cash flow, makes the deal more refinanceable, right? Or financeable of whatever you're trying to do. So you have to think holistically how this works. And that's why with eXp, as I built the commercial part and built all these relationships because of Alan's close friendship and because of his other partner, Dylan Wynn, who I've known when he ran Intero Commercial Jesus, almost 20 years ago. You know, these are the network friendships, relationships, and trust that we bring kind of all our toys or candies, Alan, for people to sample. Whoever wants to eat it, we're sharing. But these are the tight knit relationship. And I look forward to whoever wants to reach out to me in LinkedIn. I'm very active in commercial real estate, diversity, been doing this for 30 years. NAR, CAR. I also was a multicultural president with ARIA and very close with every other organization, the Realtist, NAREB, Alliance, when it was NAGO, everything with NAR. So there's a lot of groups, but also, as Ross knows, I'm a techie guy too. A lot of tech companies I was advising and in the background, but very entrepreneurial. I always say, if you're not a W-2, you're 1099, you're an entrepreneur. So we do want to teach those that want to learn to get better. And there's just so much more we're going to add to the Sequoia platform, where education, training, teaching, mentoring, right? Bringing capital, because you may find an opportunity, bring it to Alan, and we'll actually put the money together, but we'll see if it's a deal or not a deal. But literally with this group of friends and relationship, you start looking at our Rolodex, all of us combined, it is so much. But we always believe this: play it forward, help others, because during a downturn, unfortunately, a lot of people get hurt and life is hard. And one day when I meet everyone in person, I'll go into my sorrow story of what I had to deal with. But I learned a lot of good lessons, right? We all do when the market goes bad and we recover. But playing it forward, giving back, right? When you have enough, how do you help other people? So, you know, like Alan, Ross, many of you here, playing it forward, giving it back, helping others is a blessing.
So this is absolutely true. So for the last few minutes, I would just want to share the reality in the commercial market is that what are we funding, right? We are funding a lot of bridge loans. Why? Is because out there in the market, I would say 80% of the loan, commercial loan, real estate loan out there are bridge loans. But there are many reasons for that. I can talk about it in another class. But the reality is that there are so many bridge loans. So regardless what the economy is, when the bridge loan is due, the client has to refinance that bridge loan. So now many of these bridge loans were obtained a few years ago when the interest rate was much, much lower. What that means is that when they got that bridge loan 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the interest rate was high, and hence the debt, they can get a lot more debt. It's called a DSCR. But now in today's market, the interest rate has gone up so much. So for a lot of the business owners, that's what we see. A lot of the real estate owner who owns a property, let's say a $10 million property, they have a loan on it for $6-7 million. Now you are not able to help them to just do a rate and term refinance just because the interest rate has gone up. Now we are looking for ways to reduce the cost. Again, DSCR, that's what we've been talking about on the throughout many of our classes. We need to look for ways to reduce their costs. And with this particular product right here, it can reduce their tax, which is huge. So if you look at any of our real estate scenario, we always ask for two things. We always ask for what is the property tax. We always ask for what is the insurance. Am I correct saying that? So now the property insurance, most likely you cannot do anything about this. But now with the property tax reduced, now we can get that poor guy out of trouble. So that is what we are seeing right now. Every single day, we have a lot of business owners come to us crying that, hey, help me to get out, help me to get out. We just cannot. It's just because the rate is too high. They over leverage it. There's no way, the rent is not going up. There's no way for us to reduce the cost. But now here it is. This is a solution. So again, remember, Sequoia is not just a commercial lending company. We are a solution providing company. You are a solution provider. You out there, you solve people's problem, and that's what we do. So
Alan,
again,
yeah, Alan, I'd like to add just one thing.
yes,
If
sir.
you're okay with that, because I want to put a very distinct fine point on Jim's comment earlier. If you represent a commercial property owner that is struggling to refinance, and my company reduces their real estate tax bill by $10,000, and the market cap rate on that property is 5%, we have created $200,000 in asset value just like that. $200,000 in real estate value is created off of saving them $10,000, assuming a 5% capitalization rate. So reducing those real estate taxes help underwriting, help refinancing, help debt coverage ratio, and can help somebody get out from underneath a loan very, very quickly just by creating that value through reduced real estate taxes. Sorry, Alan.
No, absolutely. This is absolutely right. So again, we can go on and on and on, but we also need to honor the time. So right now it's 9 o'clock. So we don't want to keep everybody. But again, thank you so much, James, Ross. Thank you so much for this platform. And I believe that this is the first time, and we will be inviting you guys onto our platform, many, many, many times. Okay. So again, this is going to be recorded. It will be on our YouTube channel. If you missed it, anybody missed it, feel free to come in and check it out. And next week, again, we will have another great show. So ladies and gentlemen, we don't have just training on Wednesday night. Right now, we have Tuesday night training. It's hosted by Mr. Gio McConey. Gio, are you online?
Right here, Alan.
Okay,
How's
so
everybody
Gio,
doing?
Tuesday night is the Latino training. Okay. So Wednesday night is where we are. Thursday night, hosted by me again, is in Chinese. Okay. We will have Chinese training Thursday night. Friday night, my brother Mo. Are you online, Mo?
I'm here.
Okay. Talk about your Friday night.
And first off, this was an excellent presentation. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us the information that you shared with us. This Friday, we do what's called like a Friday night huddle. This is where we get together, and it's very in a non-threatening manner and a very laid-back manner, and we go through different product trainings and things of that nature, mindset development training. This Friday, we're going to be dealing with mindset development, the psychology behind sales. A lot of these products that we have, we got a lot of excellent products, but one of the things we want to make sure that we do is we have the power to be able to, and the knowledge to actually sell these products. So I do want you guys to join us on this Friday. We also, just for everyone, since you're on this call, we also just brought on a marketing lead generator manager. So we will be passing out real estate leads to everyone on our team. So a lot of leads are going to be coming through for real estate commercial type deals. Okay. So make sure that you guys are on the Friday night call so you guys can get this information. Once again, thank you, Alan, and thank you, James, and thank you, sir, for joining this call and giving us the information that you shared.
All right. Okay, great. Thank you. Again, thank you everyone for tonight's presentation. And you hear us. This is what Sequoia is all about. We are not here just to do a one deal or two deals. We are right here to try to change an industry. And if you feel that this is a platform worthy for you to plug in, please invite your other friends and family members or business partners to plug in. So again, we can grow this business together. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much and have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Alan.